Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer. And now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Hi, I'm John Mallows. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today we're talking about the world of sports and a fan club right here in the state of California with Fresno ties to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how appropriate, as football season is just a couple of weeks away. The regular season starts, 436-ME-TV, option 11. Do call in, do turn down the sound. Welcome back to the program here on Connect with Me. It's a Wednesday morning on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. And of course, you're watching us as usual live on Comcast channel 187 and 43.6. And now you are watching us live also on ME-TV, which is also 13.1. You can watch the replay at 1 o'clock in the afternoon today on YouTube 13.6 and 8 o'clock tonight, Biz TV. That would be 13.5. Today is the world of sports, of course, and football season just around the corner. The regular season, I don't count the preseason. I don't even watch preseason games. I don't care. But anyway, before we get into that, I do want to mention the Ice Bucket Challenge. You know, this is a kind of a thing that's sweeping the nation. It's come to California now, of course, and in Fresno. Seems like everybody is doing it, trying to raise money for ALS. Jerry Dyer, the police chief, doing it. I want to show you this piece of videotape courtesy of the Fresno Bee.
Yeah, I think most of you know that I was called out on the ALS challenge to have ice dropped on me, and that was made by Brandon Shoemaker. I found out about that challenge yesterday and while I was at church. Initially I thought, you know what, I'll just write the $100 check and be done with it. And then I also got called out by Commissioner of Philadelphia Police Department, Chuck Ramsey, who called out all of the major city chiefs. But I was still just going to write the check. But I was afraid that our SWAT guys might think that I was afraid of a little bit of ice water. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and accept the challenge, have the ice water poured on me in uniform, and also write the $100 check to ALS. So with that, I'm going to let these guys do what they do. But first, let me get my phone. Don't get so excited there. Some of you guys may want to work midnights after this. I don't know. But you know, I also thought that maybe everybody else has been doing this with the shirt on. I thought I would just take my shirt off and really feel the ice cold water on my body. So with that, let it rip. Oh! Yeah! Oh, that is cold. Okay, I can't remember who I was going to challenge. I got brain freeze. Okay, first off, I want to challenge somebody that's given me a lot of heartache in my 13 years as a chief, and that is our president of the Fresno Police Officers Association, Jackie Parks. I'm calling you out. And I'm also going to call out his counterpart at the Deputy Sheriff's Association, that is their president, Eric Schmidt. And I want to call out every single California police chief to take the ALS challenge and get dumped with ice water. That's 337 other police chiefs in the state of California. So with that, I'm going to go dry off.
That is pretty funny stuff. Don't expect to see me here on Connect with Me taking the ice water challenge or the ice bucket challenge, or whatever you want to call it. And it's for a good cause. It's for ALS, and Jerry Dyer did take the challenge. He also wrote the check, a $100 check to ALS. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe somebody, I don't know, maybe Telly behind me will dump the ice bucket. Who knows? Anyway, on to our program today, which is the world of sports here on Connect with Me. And, you know, who would have thunk it years ago, back in the 70s, of a fan club from the Pittsburgh Steelers right here in our own state of California, no less the city of Fresno. Say what? What? Let's go to the picture, the still picture right here. I want to start off on a negative note. Yes, I want to start off on a negative note because I'm not a Steeler fan, but I'm here doing a Steeler program. We got two guests in the studio today. That's right. Let's stay on this a while because the Steeler fans were stunned about a week ago when both their running backs, Le'Veon Bell, number 26, and LeGarrette Blount, number 27, picked up for possession of marijuana. They now face charges along with a young lady from Sacramento who was also in the car at the time. It was a Camaro they were driving. When they were stopped by authorities, apparently the aroma was so strong it just reeked when it was coming out of the car. Surprisingly, both players were in the game last Thursday night in a preseason game. What was Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Steelers, thinking at the time? I don't know. Maybe we'll ask our two guests. Speaking of which, live in our studio right now, John Irvin, the co-founder of this fan club called Banger Stiller Gang. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers fan club, with ties here to California and to Fresno. Sitting next to him is Cass Centel. He is also part of the club. It is called the Banger Stiller Gang. They have ties to Fresno. They are a fan club, and you know, you can't knock the Steelers. They have 6 Super Bowl trophies. How many does your team have? 436, MeTV, option 11. Love them or hate them, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the 6-time world champions in pro football. So we'll talk to these two guys here today, the biggest fans in Pittsburgh right now. Our two guests here on the set of Connect with Me. We're back with our program and your phone calls in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here in the program, and I go back to my original statement, who would have thunk it back in the 70s? A Steeler gang right here in the city of Fresno in California. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
So what is this? This is called the Stiller Gang, right? And you're a fan club that has ties to California, but you live in Pittsburgh. You live in...
I'm here in Fresno.
You live in Fresno. Well, like I said, you can't knock the Steelers. They have 6 Super Bowls, whether you love them or hate them. And who's got more?
Nobody.
Nobody. So tell me how this fan club got started.
Well, basically, being a Pittsburgh native, most of us as children never attend games. It's something people don't waste tickets on children. So I never attend.
What's that again? Say that again.
People don't waste tickets on children in the city of Pittsburgh.
So you never see kids going to games?
You do, but not the locals too much.
For me, I love taking my kid to my son to say a Giants game. I took him to one 49ers game. So that doesn't happen that often in Pittsburgh?
Well, the tickets were kind of expensive growing up.
Okay.
So a lot of people, we're a blue-collar city, and a lot of people would rather spend the money on themselves for the tickets, and the kids have to wait.
Until they're grown-ups, huh?
Until they're grown-ups. So what happened is I attended my first game, and I got to understand what being a Steeler fan was about, which is about the sense of family and brotherhood that you experience. And
let's take this call here real quick, and then we'll continue with that thought. Sure. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. What's your question? Hey, caller. Must have been a Raider fan. So go. You know, I do want to roll a piece of videotape, some pictures that you brought in to our studio today to show our, you know, our audience out there what this fan club is all about. So yeah, go ahead. Who's that?
This is one of our other members, Tony Vinny, with Martavius Bryant. He's one of our staff members back in Pittsburgh. That's one of our soldiers in Afghanistan. He wears our bandanas for good luck. That is Jeffrey Filia. He has his fan bar sports club in Turtle Creek, another hangout of ours.
So how did this fan club start? You were saying before I interrupted with the phone call.
We basically went to a game, and I was seated with people that were from all different walks of life, from Wall Street brokers to plumbers. Yep. And normally these are guys that wouldn't speak when they passed each other in the street.
But you had one thing in common.
Black and gold.
That's right.
That's right. And I saw a stadium with 60,000 best friends hugging, and I said, "Wow, you know what? This is something that we need to bottle and give to the people." And so an idea started, and it slowly started taking shape. And one thing led to another, and here we are 3 years later.
Wow. So how old is this fan club?
3 years old.
About 3 years old.
Yes.
Okay, so this doesn't date back to, say, the 70s or the 80s. I mean, nobody would have thought about doing something like this, especially with ties to California, I don't think. Back in the 70s, when the Raiders were such big rivals to the Steelers, that rivalry is long gone. It doesn't even exist anymore, really, that much. Not with the intensity that it once did. Would you agree?
I would definitely agree. We're more focused on Baltimore and Cincinnati, Dallas after that. The Raiders, the funny thing with the Raiders is...
Raiders are kind of an afterthought.
But we can't beat you in California. And it hasn't happened in about 10 years, maybe 15 years or so.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
Yeah. And so the pictures that we see there are just members of the club?
Yes.
They are. How many members do you have?
We have about 42,000 followers right now.
And how many here in California?
Ooh, a few thousand.
A few thousand. How many here in Fresno?
Fresno, maybe.
I'd say a couple hundred.
Yeah, a couple hundred in Fresno.
A couple of hundred in Fresno. Later in the program, not now, we're going to be showing some videos, some T-shirts that you guys print up here in the city of Fresno. That's really the main tie to Fresno. But I want to take you back to 1972 because this is when Steeler Mania first began. The Steelers were a losing team for 40 years prior to this. We do have a phone call coming in. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Caller, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, why does Spanger and Cass think Steeler Gang is...
Wow. Okay. Anyway, we got cut short. Anyway, as I was saying
Frigidaire.
before I was interrupted,
We
the
introduced the
Steelers
first
were a
home
losing
freezer.
team for 40 years prior to 1972. And then along came this playoff game on December the 23rd, 1972 at Three Rivers Stadium against the Oakland Raiders. Those were the rivals. And so there were seconds left in the game. The Steelers were down. I think it was fourth down. Bradshaw goes back to pass, and the rest is history. You can relive the moment right now.
Last chance for the Steelers. Bradshaw trying to get away. And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off. Franco Harris has it. And he's over. Blocked. Franco Harris grabbed the ball on a deflection. 5 seconds to go. He grabbed it with 5 seconds to go and scored. When you talk about Christmas miracles, here's a miracle of all miracles. Watch this one now. Bradshaw's lucky to even get rid of the ball. He shoots it out. Jack Tatum deflects it right into the hands of Harris. And he sets off, and the big 230-pound rookie slipped away from Warren and scored.
And so basically that was the Immaculate Reception back in 1972. And for the next 8 years after the Immaculate Reception, the Pittsburgh Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. That was the Christmas miracle. Franco Harris was a rookie at that time. 2 days after that happened, that's when they named the play, one of the greatest plays in NFL history, even to this day, but they named it the Immaculate Reception. The pass intended for Frenchie Fuqua, but the ball bounced off of Jack Tatum, as you saw. We're going to get your reaction to that. And also, we'll show a picture of the man who actually ended up with the immaculate reception ball. He still has it in his possession today, so many years later. 436, MeTV, option 11. Hey, these two guys are Steeler fans. What's your team? We're back in a moment.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Back here on Connect with me, kind of reliving some of the great Steeler moments. Of course, the immaculate reception happening with Franco Harris. So, were you born yet when that happened?
No.
You weren't?
No.
You weren't either?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm an 80s baby.
77 over here.
So have you talked to people or met people that were at the game?
No, that was at the game? No.
No, you don't know anybody that was at that game?
No.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh isn't that big a city. It's not like Los Angeles. So I thought maybe living in Pittsburgh, you would have run into somebody who really attended that game.
Honestly, I've never asked anybody if they've attended that game, and now it's on my list of things to do, because I actually, you know what? Actually, I do. The Italian Army, Al Vento Jr. and Al Vento Sr., those are some friends of ours, and they're actually...
Franco's Italian Army?
Yes, sir.
Franco,
yes, sir.
After Franco Harris, who his mother was Italian.
Yes.
And that's why they call it the Italian Army, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, run Paisano, run. And... Yeah, Franco. So actually, I do know a few people who were at that game. They would have at least 12 seats just for the food alone. And they have actually given us the nod of approval, which is very rare for an organization like theirs. They're pretty historical. They're in Highland Park right now. Vento's Pizza, still one of the best places to eat in the city. And if you walk in their establishment, you'll see a lot of memorabilia from the 70s.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures with Franco, stuff like that.
Is Franco still living in Pittsburgh?
I believe he's still in the area. His son is involved in local politics, so I believe Franco's still in the area.
All right. Now, at the time, Three Rivers Stadium held, what, 60,000 plus maybe?
Something like that.
Okay, I would guarantee you that if you tried to take a poll today, I'll bet you'd find 300,000 people that claim they were at that game.
I'm sure.
You know, maybe 400,000, maybe a half a million. I want to put a picture up of this guy named Jim Baker. He's the guy that came up with the football. And keep that picture up there for a while, because I want to explain how he got it. That's the football that Franco Harris caught when it ricocheted off of Jack Tatum at the time. This guy's name is Jim Baker, a Pittsburgh, PA resident. At the time, he was sitting on the 30-yard line as Bradshaw released the pass downfield. He jumped off the dugout, saw Franco running down the sidelines, went onto the field, kept his eye on the ball the entire time. And as you saw in that video, Franco Harris actually dropped the ball. The equipment manager picked it up, handed it to the official, that same ball. Roy Girella came in, kicked the field goal, and this guy Baker was standing under the goalpost and fell on the football. Stuck it under his coat, ran out of the stadium, and the rest is history. He's got the ball to this day. Amazing. You got to seek this guy out.
Definitely do. He's a man with vision to know that ball would be worth something years later.
Yeah, and at the time of the Immaculate Reception, Jim Baker here was 26 years old. So he's holding the football right there. That's the actual football in his possession. And I'm sure he's had many requests to, from people that come in and, they offer whatever they want for the ball. But I wonder what do you think that thing is worth?
I think it's priceless.
It's priceless.
Priceless. Yeah, I don't think you can put a price on something like that. I mean,
$500,000 maybe.
More than that. You can't duplicate that moment. You definitely can't. I mean, it's impossible. Nobody's done it since. It's been what, 40-something years, 42 years.
Yeah. What would you pay for a ball like that?
It's pretty much priceless, and that's one of the reasons why he keeps it in a man-sized vault, and he keeps it dead in the center of the vault, to where no one could, he keeps it in his office at his place of business, and it's in a man-sized vault, probably like a 12 by 12 room that he had personally made for just this ball. So
yeah, it's amazing. And I guess they've been able to verify through the years that this is the actual ball, because he kept his eye on the ball the entire time after Franco dropped it in the end zone after he made the catch, and he had the presence of mind to go after that football and keep his eye on it. It's amazing.
Kept his eye on the prize.
Eye on the prize the entire time.
Yes, sir.
We got some more video here, and I want to roll a piece of videotape. They print some of the shirts here in the city of Fresno. We've got some video showing that. Whose shop is this, and where is it? You can talk about that.
That's a really good friend of mine. His name is Al Perez. He's the owner of Main Event Graphics. I've known Al for about 15 years. He's one of the bigger names in Fresno when it comes to printing and embroidery and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
what are these T-shirts here?
Those are actually our version of the breast cancer awareness shirts.
Okay.
Something that we can provide for our fans and stuff, and also be able to provide people with an opportunity to give back. So for every shirt that's sold, we donate a piece of that to charity.
Yeah. Now, Cass, has anybody ever asked you this question? Okay, if you're such a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, why don't you move back to Pittsburgh?
I'm leaving actually in 2 years.
You are?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You are? Why?
I visit the city a lot. I'm out there a couple times a year. There's nothing like Pittsburgh. What
do you mean by that?
Just the people. The people are just totally the opposite. I mean, the laws out there, the scenery, of course. And like I said, if you're a diehard Steeler fan like I am, it's like it's the holy grail.
All right, but are you going to get season tickets?
Well, now that when I go visit the games nowadays, I don't even get my tickets till I get there. Over the years,
how do you get them?
I've established friendships with people, locals out there, and just took it from there. And now
you're not going to have any problem going to the games?
Oh no. Well, me and this guy will actually be at every game this year.
You will?
Home and away, out there supporting our group.
What do you do for a living?
I am a motorcycle dealer. I travel California buying motorcycles.
So are you going to take your business to Pittsburgh?
I'm actually not.
You're not? What are you going to do?
This is our brand. This is what we do, and we plan on making it a lot bigger. So that's the whole goal, is to team up with him out there in Pittsburgh and make this a lot bigger than what it is.
But you're from Fresno, right?
Yes.
Born and raised, you got family here?
Yeah, most of my family's here.
How do they feel about you moving to Pittsburgh?
They're all telling me that I won't do it because of the weather. They're actually challenging me to go spend a winter and a summer in Pittsburgh to see if I could even handle it. But
it's cold back there, right, John?
Definitely.
How do you handle the cold?
Long johns, sweatpants under your jeans, 3 or 4 layers under your coat, and a ski mask.
Yeah. Try that for a couple of years. I lived on the East Coast for 5 years. I know it gets cold.
Yeah,
so the wind and the cold. Remember watching quite a few Steeler games on television just growing up, and it was, oh my gosh, a couple of Raider games I saw the weather was brutal. One game I saw was like 16, I think it was like 16 below zero. That one game they played, the AFC playoff game.
Yeah, then you got to figure as well, especially for home games, the stadium is right on the Three Rivers. Mm-hmm. So the wind coming off of the rivers during the wintertime is just unbearable.
Brutal, huh?
Yeah, you have to be a real fan to be in the stadiums, but the stadium's full, so there's a lot of real fans.
Right. Shh, we're on the air. Hold it down, guys. Hold it down. We're back here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. Back with our show in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Back here on MeTV Fresno, you're watching us on Comcast 187, of course, and 43.6 plus 13.1. That's also MeTV. You can watch the replay of this show in case you missed the beginning of the program at 1 o'clock today. That's on 13.6 U2 and 13.5 Biz TV at 8 o'clock tonight. And I'm here with John Irvin and Cass Centella. They are both with the Stiller Gang. Your name is Banger Stiller, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. as far as the fan club is concerned.
Yes.
You brought a helmet with you. Let's roll another piece of videotape. We'll show that helmet in just a minute. I want you to talk a little bit more about the fan club.
Okay.
And how this whole thing started. I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what are we looking at right here? What is this?
That is at the Silver Dollar Hofbrau House at a get together we had for Steeler
Fresno,
fans
right?
in Fresno. Yes.
Okay.
That's Hector's son, Jonathan. It's the first time we met.
Hector Coronado. He works here at Ventura TV.
Yes. That is Tony. She perfected the recipe at Permane Brothers for their famous sandwich. She's been their head cook for about 40 years. That's Al Vento Jr. from Franco's Italian Army. That's his place of business and his father's place of business, Vento's Pizza in East Liberty. Like I said, he's been a great
terrible towel.
Yes, he's been a great support to us. He's given us a lot of good advice about the direction of our company. That is one of our fans at a Heinz Ward signing. A sweet old lady. Had a good time with her. And there's the hardest hitting wide receiver in the NFL. Should have been a cornerback. Broke Ed Reed's jaw and supporting the Steeler gang, which is pretty cool. He's a great guy to meet. Very personable.
And some fans out there. There's Cass
that's
right
us.
there.
Actually, yeah,
that's you guys.
Yeah, we went to the draft at Radio City Music Hall early in the year. There's Isaiah Green with my sister at training camp.
Isaiah Green was a guest here just before he left for training camp.
Yes, and that's Dre Archer, the fastest man in the NFL that we picked up this year at training camp.
Okay.
And that is at a party in Yucaipa we had about a month ago. The gentleman in the gray T-shirt is Chris Carter's father. Chris Carter played for Fresno State. He's a linebacker, outside linebacker for Pittsburgh. Now his father was a wide receiver for Minnesota years ago.
Right.
That bike you just saw was Cass's bike that he built. And
is this in Pittsburgh here?
That's in San Bernardino.
Oh, that's in San Bernardino there.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of Steeler fans out here.
Okay. So how many, how big is this fan club? I mean, is it growing by the numbers day by day?
Day by day. Like I said, we have about a little over 40,000, close to 42,000 followers right now.
How do you know that?
Our statistics online show us, show us where people are from. All the information that they've made privy to the social media sites. And it's just basically been kind of spreading by word of mouth, and we have a couple chapters over in Germany and England.
You're kidding?
Yeah, actually, we had some representatives from London who went to the game against Minnesota in Wembley Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's getting pretty interesting, as well as we have
40,000 plus here in California. I think you said.
There's a few thousand.
A few thousand,
yes.
And here just a few hundred in the city of Fresno. But that connection to Al Perez and the T-shirt shop, he prints your Why do you have your T-shirts printed here?
Actually, Cass and myself, we met at a football game for the Ravens a few years back, and when we met, our relationship grew. And long story short, he had some good options for me in the printing side. I was able to beat the prices I was already paying, and
the rest is history.
Rest is history. Yeah.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air. I think you are. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're called.
You showed that clip there of the Immaculate Reception, and that clip. The question of it is probably about as big as was there a second shooter on the grassy knoll of JFK, because everybody thinks that at the time if you touched when if it was that it supposedly went to Frenchie Fuqua and then it was hit by the Raider, but they say it touched the Pittsburgh Steeler Frenchie Fuqua, which if it did, and then Harris who had caught it would have been an illegal pass.
We're looking at it right now. Hey, caller.
The film is at the time is not that great, and so no one can really say did it touch Fuqua or not. And so I'm just wondering what you guys feel about that.
That's a great question, because we're replaying the Immaculate Reception now. You can see it on your monitor. That was the big question at the time. And as you pointed out, caller, very smart observation on your part. They didn't have the number of cameras and replay abilities that they do now. We're watching the replay now, and it's inconclusive as to whether or not Frenchie Fuqua touched that football, because back then in the NFL, if the offensive receiver touched the ball, it could not ricochet off your own man, and then you pick it up and run for a touchdown. And if had Frenchie Fuqua touched it, that would not have been ruled a touchdown. But the officials ruled in all the chaos at Three Rivers that, in fact, the ball ricocheted off of Jack Tatum.
he didn't say whether or not it did. He just refused to actually make a judgment on it. So, that's just been a big question this whole time. That's over 40 years.
You must be a Raider fan, right?
Actually, I'm a 49er fan, but this has been a question that I've had forever. I'm sure millions of other people have had also, up to Steve Sable. So, you never know.
Yeah, no, listen, you bring up a good point. I should have brought that up earlier because it is like the second shooter on the grassy knoll. Did Frenchie Fuqua touch that football? What's your take on that? I know you're Steeler fans.
I'm going to have to say no.
You don't know. You weren't even born yet.
I know, but I watched the footage, and you know what? It's the results that matter.
Yeah.
And, well, it's in the history books is that he didn't touch it, and the pass counts, and it's a touchdown. So.
Yeah. Hey, is the caller still there?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, so stay there, keep him up. Okay, Cash, your take. Did Frenchie touch that ball?
I thought he had, because you kind of see the ball go past him through his arms, and then you see Atkinson hit it, and then as it comes back through it, I thought it looks like it touches the Steeler or Fuqua's arms on the way back towards Harris. So it's kind of it's just difficult to tell.
Yeah, it wasn't George Atkinson. It was actually Jack Tatum. But what's your take on it, Cass?
Excuse me, yes.
I just think it's one of them questions that will never be answered properly. Depending on who you ask. You can ask a Raider fan, they're going to say it's definitely been touched. And if you ask a Steeler fan, we're going to say no. So
that's like the second shooter on the grassy knoll, man. 1963. I mean,
it's just one of those questions, man. And unfortunately, we're glad it went the way it did.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, I do know one person who was at the game, a former sportscaster in Sacramento who was actually in the press box at the game, and he said there was so much chaos at Three Rivers. The official or officials at the time just probably didn't have the courage or the guts to make a call one way or the other, so the touchdown stood. Nice. And the rest is history, as they say, the immaculate reception. We're here with the Pittsburgh Steelers fan club. You are there, ready to call in, I'm sure. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Do call in. Having fun on the show today. Just kind of giving these guys a bad time because I'm a Raider fan. It's all part of the fun. Back in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
All of our support. We know what you're going to do this season.
The Italian Army was the first greatest fan club in NFL history. And the Steeler gang now is going to pick up where the Italian Army left off. Let's go Steelers.
All right, that is footage that was taken by, I guess, your cell phone.
Yes.
Took that footage where?
It would be in Yucaipa Regional Park in San Bernardino, and also at Vento's Pizza in Highland Park in East Liberty in Pittsburgh.
What was the event?
It was a Black and Gold picnic, the 10th annual Black and Gold picnic that we got invited to, and we were surprised by the amount of fans that turned up all the way out here in California.
How many?
About 600.
There's 600 to 700 people coming from not only California, from Texas as well.
Right.
Oh, Steeler pride in Texas.
Do we have that video of Ben Roethlisberger? Are you able to find that? No. Okay, I want to talk about Ben Roethlisberger just for a minute here because he's the quarterback. Very controversial, as you know, okay, over the course of time. How many Super Bowls for him? 2?
2.
He's won 2.
Yes.
And yet he's very... How would you compare, and I know you weren't born in the 70s, how would you compare the controversy between him and Bradshaw, Terry Bradshaw?
Well, I think...
Bradshaw playing in the 70s, Roethlisberger in this era.
Well, from a fan's perspective, I would have to say, of course I wasn't around in the 70s, I can only go off of what I heard, but I would have to say that Ben is more loved by the locals than Terry was.
Because?
Well, the incident that happened...
With Roethlisberger?
Yes, we have some insiders who actually were employed at the place of business. They were offered, shout out to Stephanie Barnhart, by the way. They were offered a nice sum by a few major publications to kind of spill the beans, and they refused to do so because they said that he was innocent.
Okay, now explain what the situation that you're talking about.
Well, everybody pretty knows there was a couple of young ladies made some allegations
against Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Okay.
And according
sexual allegations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And according to the people, we all know the environment. You know, they warn the rookies to watch out for the girls that are trying to, you know, for anybody who's trying to take advantage of them. And it looked like a situation of somebody just trying to make the most.
There's Ben right there, number 7, of course, and so you think he was being taken advantage of at the time?
Yeah, a lot of people kind of feel that way.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead. Hey, caller.
Hello.
Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Hey, pretty good. We're watching video of Ben Roethlisberger. What do you think?
Awesome. I'm just calling in to show some support to Steeler Gang. Steeler Gang in there?
Yes, yes, we are. Yes, we are.
That's what's up. My name is Josh. I'm calling from Texas, baby. Texas is in the house.
Oh, shout out to Texas.
Want to let everybody know that my name is Josh, founder and president of Steeler Pride Fan Club up here in Texas. But this is just an example to all the fan clubs out there in the nation that it's not about competition with clubs. It's about uniting Steeler fans all over the nation. And I want to congratulate Steeler Gang for all their accomplishments that they have done and all the success that they're doing out there around the nation. All I love from Texas goes to them. More power to them.
Caller, let me ask you a question. What part of Texas are you calling from?
We're right in Jerry's World. Jerry's World in the center of Dallas. We're like 10 minutes away from the Cowboy Stadium. It's Steelers country, baby.
Amazing.
Yes,
We're watching
sir.
the Steelers and Cowboys right now. Highlights on the air. But so why are you a Steeler fan? Why not a Cowboys fan?
Why not a Cowboys fan? Are you kidding me? You know, back in the era when the NFL, you know, asked the Pittsburgh Steelers, hey, do you guys want to be America's teams? We said, no. We are the Pittsburgh Steelers, baby.
Okay.
But there is no way in the world would I ever be a Cowboys fan, I'll tell you that.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it very much. Hey, I want to go back to the monologue segment. Let's put up the pictures there of Bell and Blunt again, because I want to talk about these guys that were picked up for marijuana last Wednesday. Thursday night, the day after, they played in a preseason game against Philly, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't ask you this question. Okay, so what's going on here with these guys?
Well,
these guys are young guys still. They barely started their career, and they're already in trouble.
Well, first off, I'd like to say that a California girl was the root of all the problems. So I can blame that on your state.
You think it was a Raider plant, or what?
It might have been. She's from Sacramento, so that's up north. So probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
You never know. Come on. You can't blame her.
I know, but...
Yeah, so what's going on with these guys? Are they just immature, or what?
I think that, especially for Le'Veon, he made a young man's mistake, and I hope that it will not define their careers in any sense, and it can be something that they put in the past and can learn and grow from it. But they messed up. And then, you know, as long as they're willing to move forward and acknowledge their mistakes and make a positive change.
Okay. Caller, you're there. Go ahead.
Yes, John, I'm calling about that guy that just said that Roethlisberger is better than Terry Bradshaw was. Well, I was around in the 70s, and I'll tell you that Terry Bradshaw is one of the greatest quarterbacks, and I'm not even a Steeler fan. I'm a Raider fan for everybody. This is California, and we're proud of our Raiders, but also we know that Terry Bradshaw was a great quarterback. And does he not remember Lynn Swann and the Steelers that played in, what was it, 78, John, against the Rams?
Yeah.
And, you know, those were great games that these guys were not even around. But Roethlisberger is not even... Roethlisberger doesn't even come up to the knee on Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw had already won like 3 Super Bowls before these guys were even around.
Well, that's true. You know, I hate to go against you guys, but I agree with the caller. I think Bradshaw was a much better quarterback. He played so well under pressure. That Rams-Steelers Super Bowl was phenomenal. I mean, nobody thought that Pittsburgh was going to come back and win that game, and you saw Stallworth make that great catch at the end to win that game.
You also got to take in consideration the people he had around him as well. Like, he's had some standout peoples back in the 70s on the Steelers. Like,
Well, they had the steel curtain defense, you know, with Mean Joe Green and L.C. Greenwood and Stalwart, Rocky Bleier, Franco Harris.
Franco Harris. I mean, that's a hard squad to try to compare to, you know.
Yeah, because it's funny. Some of the they'll go nameless, but some of the players who started on his offense.
Whose offense?
On the Steelers' offense in the '70s, on Bradshaw's offense.
Okay.
They have come out and said that if it wasn't for who we had around him, Terry probably would not have been so successful.
Yeah, but if you didn't have Terry, you probably wouldn't have won the 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Caller, you're on the air.
Great. Hey, the reason I'm calling is I'm part of the Steeler gang, and it's great that everybody in California who can't be in Pittsburgh can be so close to it all. This is awesome that they came into the city, and keep it going, man. It's nothing but the Steelers and the Steelers only.
Hey, thank you.
All right, the California connection to this. So I want to make clear to our viewers, I want you to hold your arms up. You do have tattoos.
Yes.
But, they call this the Stiller gang. You have no gang affiliation. I want to make that clear to our viewers so there's no misconception, right? Okay, go ahead and talk about that.
The title of our organization actually derives from this book. I don't know if you can see it.
I'm going to hold it up.
Okay.
Right there.
It's called the
My camera.
It's called the Steeler Gang. It's about Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, and their super teammates. What we did is we spelled Stiller in the Pittsburghese dialect, which would be S-T-I-L-L-E-R. We don't
opposed to Steelers.
Right. We don't say Steelers. We put before we speak, we put a mouthful of gravel in our mouths, so you can't understand anything we say. We don't say our THs and our INGs, and we talk a little differently than the rest of the country.
And this book here, written, I think the copyright you said was 1976.
Yes, 76.
Talking about Terry Bradshaw and company and the Steelers. And, we haven't even mentioned Chuck Noll. I mean, Chuck Noll, one of the all-time underrated coaches in the history of the NFL.
Yes, rest in peace, Chuck Noll.
Yeah, and how do you compare him to Mike Tomlin, the current coach?
Oh, wow. That's kind of difficult to do, especially so early in his career. But
and Tomlin's still, I think, in his 30s, right?
Yeah, Tomlin's a young guy. Maybe early 40s at the most.
Yeah.
Chuck Noll.
You think Tomlin's more of a player's coach than Chuck Noll was? Chuck Noll seemed like a really an all business kind of guy. Like, okay, look, you don't want to mess with him. He's like on a pedestal. Where Tomlin is more down here talking to the players at their level.
Right.
Am I right about that?
I would think so from casual observation. I would agree. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, we got to take a break, guys. I'm glad you're here because it is football season, and I'm excited that the regular season is going to start here pretty soon. We're talking with John Irvin, Cass Centel. They are, one is the co-founder of that Stiller gang, the Steeler fan club here in California and the rest of the nation. Would you say, what was it, 40,000 strong?
Yes.
My goodness. 436-MeTV option 11. Are you a Raider fan, a Steeler fan, or any kind of fan? Call in. Back in a moment.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Back here on Connect with Me, you got a call? Nope. But let's roll the videotape, and we'll wait for another call to come in, and we'll wait and see what the video is. And I want to ask you if you have any influence on, as we take a look at some of these T-shirts again that are printed right here in the city of Fresno. The pink ones, of course, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which comes up, I believe, in October. Correct me if I'm wrong. But do you guys have any influence on the team itself, with coaches, with players, with management? Are they aware of how strong this organization is, this Stiller gang?
I believe so. We've had interaction with quite a few players and ex-players and some coaches. And
how about Tomlin? Is he kind of made a? Is he aware that you guys are around?
Yeah, actually, we have a Tomlin signed handkerchief from training camp, and he's definitely aware of us. We've made our presence known. And
what does he think?
So far, so good. So far so good, because we're just trying to bring fans together in a positive way and organize. Steeler Nation is a loose collective with no direction. You know, it's really just it's not really a real organization. It's just what do you call the fans. Steeler Gang is an organization that actually, you know, coordinates events.
Call is coming in. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How does one become a member of this club or whatever?
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm a lifelong Steeler fan since the 70s, and the only thing I haven't been able to get a hold of is a terrible towel.
Have you got one in your possession today?
No, I don't have one in my possession. Back at his house. I got it with me.
Believe it or not, I'm 69 years old. I lost my eyesight 17 years ago.
Oh,
but I still watch. Well, I say I watch the game, but I still listen to it. I'm still rooting for my team, 100%.
Okay, what's your name, ma'am?
I'm Mary Gonzalez.
Mary Gonzalez? Well, if you have somebody that can go on Facebook and look for our page, which is spelled STILLERGANG, all you have to do is follow us and also look for the Steeler Gang West chapter and ask for permission to enter, and we'll take it from there.
Oh, good.
Where are you from, caller?
I'm from Fresno.
Nice.
All right. Well, listen.
Lifelong Fresno.
You know, I appreciate the phone call very much, and good luck. I hope you become a member of the fan club, and you know, for your sake, I hope the Steelers do well this year. Thank you for calling in, ma'am. Okay, roll another piece of videotape. So, how much influence do you have on the team? Like, if you're frustrated and they're not winning, can you make your voice heard or well known with your unhappiness to members of the team? Coaching staff?
Yes.
Can you put pressure on them to, you know, why are you running 2 or 3 plays and then passing the football?
Wow, that's a very good question that we've all asked many times over the past couple seasons.
Yes,
and,
I know. That's why I brought it up.
Yes, through social media, we are able to voice our displeasure with certain things. The person who is running these 3 plays that everybody knows about, I don't want to say his name, but
why not? We're an honest and forthright society. Go ahead, mention his name.
Well, just say his initials are TH.
Offensive coordinator?
Maybe, but he has an affinity for the bubble screen, and everybody in the NFL knows this. So we have
3 plays and out, huh?
Right.
Boom. Oh, gee, what are they going to do on
Next
3rd down? Wow. Yeah, what a surprise.
Right.
Roethlisberger threw a pass.
Yeah, so we definitely voiced our displeasure. We've had a few campaigns, and I think they've been heard. I know they've been heard. Besides us, a few other people have done the same thing. And we shall see what happens. They say he was brought in to... Arians was a quarterback-friendly OC, and he let Ben do what a QB wants to do, throw the ball. The Rooneys brought in Haley to rein Ben in and force him to run. But what Ben is best at is calling his own plays, no huddle offense.
Last couple of years, he has not been calling his own plays, though.
Right.
Isn't that right?
Yes. Well, actually, the second half of the season he did. The winning half of the season, he called his own plays. The first half, Todd Haley was in charge.
Right, but that's almost a throwback to the old days when the quarterbacks like Ken Stabler, Bradshaw, Bob Greasy, any of those, Joe Theismann, they all called their own plays. Phil Simms, even as far back as Phil Simms. I mean, you know, this modern day age of pro football, everything is computerized. Bill Walsh, for example, he scripted the first 25 plays. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, back in the 80s, the West Coast offense, he scripted the first 25 plays. Then Montana was pretty much on his own after that. So, I mean, why not give the quarterback more control?
Right, especially because, you know, it's kind of an instinctive game, and you have to be able to read what's going on with the defense on the field. And what better position than to actually be behind the center to know what's going on? Quarterback. So,
yeah, so you're not just a fan club that's going to sit back and take what's coming to you on the field, and you're not going to sit quietly.
No.
And you're going to voice your opinion. Now, how do you voice your opinion?
Through social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's the easiest way to reach people nowadays.
Yeah. Go ahead and hold that up before we got to go here, guys, because we're almost out of time here. What is that? Hold that up and tell us what that is.
This is one of our hard hats. You'll see
that
me.
Camera right there.
You'll see me wearing this at a lot of events. Basically, it's part of our logo. Our logo is the skull and the hard hat.
I just want to show this on this side here.
Okay.
This says, okay, let's just hold it over here. That's fine. Okay. It says Stiller Gang right there. Not Steeler Gang, but Stiller Gang. And then, of course, the logo is on that side right there. So you wear this at the Steeler games?
Yes, yes.
Okay, put that on with the scarf and let me see what that looks like. All right, so this, if I show up at Heinz Field, I might see you wearing this.
Yes, you'll see me looking exactly like this.
Okay. All right, let's put that on. Oh, okay. All right, so you look like a bandit there, almost a little bit. So is that the look at Heinz Field?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Net events. Heinz Ward, and we're Heinz Ward approved and the old lady approved. So as long as the old people like it, we're good.
So the Steelers are not immune to controversy. Of course, the last couple of years. In fact, Heinz Ward got picked up for DUI a couple of years ago, so some controversy there. I imagine you guys weren't happy about that.
No.
And now this with Bell and Blunt.
Bell and Blunt, right.
Yeah, but do you think they can get over the hump, the hurdle with this?
I believe so. It's not a Johnny Manziel incident where he's in the bathroom rolling up $100 bills in Vegas. This is
or flipping somebody off.
Yeah, flipping somebody off, right? Yeah. So these. Reason why I say that is Johnny Football. Sorry, we don't like anybody from Cleveland, but Johnny Football is his attitude is kind of rubs you the wrong way. Instead of being apologetic, he says
he's combative.
Yeah. I work hard at football and do what I want to do in my spare time.
Yeah. Okay.
Not the attitude.
Got to go, but I want a quick prediction. First game against Cleveland, right?
Yes, sir.
Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel. Outcome?
Pittsburgh Steelers win.
Shazier with the sack and the interception for a touchdown.
Okay. What's the score going to be in that first game against Cleveland?
I'm thinking 27-17.
Okay. Johnny Manziel's not going to start. He won't start that game.
They say that, but even if Hoyer gets the first snap or the first series, Manziel's coming in.
Yeah. Okay, guys, got to go. Got a few minutes left, so we got to get another guest on. But glad you're here.
Thank you very much.
John Irvin, Cass good luck to you. Yeah.
Thanks to all of our fans out there. Shout out to Martin Villarreal from SoCal. He's another member of our group.
Yes, also start to Maurice Johnson back in Pittsburgh, Tony Vinny, Stephanie Barhart, Bobby Woodson, who sold me my very first ticket to the Steeler game.
Okay, got to go, guys. Good luck this season, and we'll keep an eye on the Steelers and what they do, especially against the Raiders. Back with the second part of our program in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the KitchenAid appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Save big with KitchenAid. Right now, get up to a $1,000 prepaid MasterCard when you purchase select KitchenAid appliances. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
I love a joke.
Say, Lucy.
Yeah, Ricky?
A tramp came up to me in the street and he said he hadn't had a bite in weeks.
What'd you do, bite him? Opening butler joke, buddy, come on.
The master says to the butler, Jeeves, did you put fresh water in the goldfish bowl? And the butler says, why? They didn't drink up what I gave them last night.
You know that ancient joke about the guy who saves his regiment, shoots the cook?
No. How does it go?
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Back here with the second part of our program here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. I want to get back to that earthquake that took place over the weekend in Napa. It was a 6.0, the biggest quake in 25 years. Of course, in the San Francisco Bay Area, did millions upon millions of dollars worth of damage. I want to roll that videotape from the drone that you saw yesterday and take a look at the damage here in downtown Napa. Ancient buildings just came crumbling. apart to a certain extent. Look at this building here. And so this happened around 3:30 in the morning along the West Napa Fault, a smaller and less publicized fault line than the San Andreas Fault that you see there. Last couple of days, though, since the initial quake, there have been dozens upon dozens upon dozens of aftershocks. In fact, one big one that rattled nerves yesterday took place. And so the last big quake, of course, as I mentioned yesterday, took place in the Bay Area, 1989. It happened right at the beginning of Game 3 of the World Series at Candlestick Park. But unlike back then, no one has died in this one, although you've had a couple of hundred people injured, 3 of them critically. They're starting to come out of it. 15 buildings or more have been damaged in downtown Napa, 90 to 100 homes. There could be more than that. The quake shattered glass, facades, bricks came tumbling down, as you saw there. The barrels of wine came tumbling down. On the telephone right now is the owner of the Napa Valley Distillery. His name is Arthur Hartunian. Arthur, are you there?
I'm here, John. How are you?
Okay. Can we heads up here? Are we on the air? Yep. Okay. All right. Arthur, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, John.
Okay. Thank you. So tell us about the damage in your Napa Valley Distillery here.
It was pretty bad. It actually ended up turned out being not as bad as we thought. The initial shock wears off after you start, going through the rubble and cleaning up, and you start being able to salvage some of the things that we thought were damaged. But it was significant. We lost approximately 50% of our inventory between the 2 stores and our distillery. So it was bad, but not as bad as many other wineries and a lot of businesses in Napa. A lot of people have just been devastated, lost their entire livelihood. So we feel fortunate that we're at least back to business.
Okay, how are the people of Napa reacting to some of the aftershocks? You had that one big one yesterday, as I mentioned. Our nerves are pretty much on edge right now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody's a little tense because, we're in the middle of cleaning up and trying to put all the pieces back together, and then we get interrupted with a shake here and there. And so, yeah, everybody's nerves are on edge. But Napa as a community is very strong. Everyone has really come together and worked in unison to rebuild Napa. And I have to tell you, I mean, for a major earthquake just a few days ago, I think we're coming out pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of damage, but everybody just has a positive attitude.
So is your Napa Valley Distillery, is it reopened yet?
Yes, we actually just opened yesterday.
Okay. And
we did a lot of cleaning up. We had a lot of barrels that tipped over. We lost a lot of really good brandy, but it was just about cleaning it all up.
In the end, they could say when you add all this up, it could be about $1 billion worth of damage, or maybe even more. How much damage to your business would you say at this point?
Well, we lost at least half of our existing inventory. I haven't.
But when you add it all up, what does it come out to in terms of money?
Oh, it's over 100,000. It's somewhere around 125,000 in our existing inventory.
Okay, what is downtown Napa like now? Are they still cleaning up? Do you have a lot of tourists or visitors coming through to see what happened?
Yeah, we have a lot of people coming in and just kind of looking at the damage and taking pictures. Downtown is definitely open for business. Not all the stores are up and running, but certain segments, certain parts of downtown are open. It's attracting a lot of attention because people want to see the damage.
Okay.
It's for the most part, it's open.
It's open, and you have a lot of tourists coming in, right?
Yes, we do. We have a lot of tourists. Napa is, 5 million people a year visit.
Right.
So there are a lot of people who have had reservations in place, and they're not going to cancel because of an earthquake that occurred a few days ago. So people are still coming in. They might not have access to all the different wineries and restaurants that they would have. Yeah. But there's still a lot of places that are open.
Got about a minute left, Arthur. I want to ask you, when will Napa be fully back in business, fully operational. When will the cleanup be complete in your estimation?
You know, at this pace, I think within a couple weeks. Like I said, Napa has really come together as a community. The city officials have been fantastic. All the PG&E water, everything was just it was shut off, but they worked around the clock to get everything back in working order. So from that stance, I mean, everything has been really quick to get back into motion. So
right. So
I think within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so the gas and water, they're back on, right?
Yeah, I think everybody has water and power.
Okay. All right, Arthur Hartunian, the owner of Napa Valley Distillery, thank you very much for joining us here on Connect with Me. Good luck in your cleanup.
You're welcome. Thank you, John.
Okay, thank you. And that's going to do it for us today here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. We're back with another show tomorrow. We'll see you then. Have a great day.